Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the film Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Now, Diary of a Wimpy Kid is a 2010 live-action animated comedy film that was meant to be based on Jeff Kinney's book series of the same name. Now, much like how Britain has Jacqueline Wilson with the story of Tracy Beaker, the Diary of the Wimpy Kid is more about a coming-of-age story, which you have books from Diary of a Wimpy Kid all the way to the deep end. And the premise of the film is meant to feature Greg Heffley, who starts his new year at middle school, and of course wants to try and get the respect and approval of others. But of course, he ends up making situations worse, ends up screwing things up, and ends up putting his friend Rowley on the second place. Now, with Greg and Rowley's characters, they're totally different, but you can tell they still try to be good friends. I feel Greg is the guy who wants to go the distance, but fails to understand that going the distance can be costly. Well, Loudly, in my opinion, is the childish best friend, but still tries to pull through. And of course, anytime Greg tries to, join a special group, basically tries to do something, he ends up making things worse. It either backfires on him, or it ends up with him getting more hated and more thrown away. And of course, you can kind of tell that the reporter for the school newspaper, Angie, played by Chloe Grace Moretz, does see this, and you can kind of tell she expects Greg to sort of realise his mistakes. Now, I do admit it's a shame we don't see Angie in the other two Diary of a Wimpy Kid films. It would have been great to have seen her as the third friend, someone to sort of be the third member, and it would have been an interesting idea. And I would say the film does hit close to home, because we've all had that moment where we wanted to seek approval, we all wanted people to think we're cool, but sometimes it can backfire horribly. And this does remind me a lot of other shows that I watched, like Ed, Edd and Eddy, where Eddie tried to be cool, but it only backfired. Like how in Nickelodeon Doug, how Doug wanted to impress someone, but it backfired. Or Boxman in OKKO, when he tried to attack the plaza to get the respect of the other villains, even though it kind of caused the villains to realise that he's doing this to please them, much to their annoyance. And I think you can tell Greg means well, and you can kind of tell that he's meant to slowly realise that his friendship with Rowley is more important than getting the respect and approval. And I think the movie really does handle the message well. And again, we've all been there when we've wanted to get the respect and approval of others, but sometimes people respect you for who you are. Don't try and be something you're not. Sometimes going the distance will be costly. Sometimes it can be costly and dangerous by what you do, but others respect you for the person you are. And I would say, given the fact it's the third installment, the first one I mean, I like how, much like how with the story of Tracy Beaker and other series is, they always had animated segments based on the book style. And I like how Diary of a Wimpy Kid keeps true to that, because anytime you have Greg in his sort of book moment, it does keep true to what the art style is from the books. And I think, in my opinion, Diary of the Wimpy Kid touched the cheese touch, and in it cleansed itself perfectly. So I do think this movie deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.